Kindly. Thank you for your courtesy. Senate President Vicente Soto III, the members of the Senate, House Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez, and the members of the House of Representatives, Vice President Maria Leonor Robredo, former Presidents Fidel V. Ramos, Joseph Hercito Estrada, and Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, His Excellency Gabriel Cacha, and the esteemed members of the Diplomatic Corps, Executive Secretary Salvador Medaldia, and the members of the Cabinet, Acting Chief Justice Antonio Carpio, and the Justices of the Supreme Court, my fellow workers in government, mga kababayan. About 2 years ago, I solemnly took my oath as a worker of the national government. I was inspired to institute real changes for the greater good of the Filipino people. As I was greatly overwhelmed then by the daunting challenges that lay ahead. 2 years later, my solid commitment to directly and decisively address our nation's collective challenges remains. It has not wavered. In truth, it has even gotten stronger through adversity and the desire to give the people the most we can within my term in this government. Let me begin by putting it bluntly. The war against illegal drugs is far from over. Where before the war resulted in the seizure of illegal drugs worth millions of pesos, today they run billions in peso value. I can only shudder at the harm that those drugs could have caused had they reached the streets of every province, city, municipality, barangay, and community throughout the country. That is why the illegal drugs war will not be sidelined. Instead, it will be as relentless and chilling, if you will, as on the day it began. These drug dealers know fully well that their business is against the law. They know the consequences of their criminal acts, especially when caught in flagrante delicto, and they violently resist arrest. They know that illegal drugs waste away lives, dysfunctionalize families, and ruin relationships. They know that once hooked, addicts will die slowly, slow deaths, and yet they persist in doing what they do, oblivious to the terrible harm that they cause to the people and communities. And when illegal drugs operations turn nasty and bloody, advocates of human rights lash at and pillory our law enforcers and this administration to no end. Sadly, I have yet to hear, really, howls of protest from the human rights advocates and church leaders against drug lordism, drug dealing, and drug pushing as forceful and vociferous as the ones directed against the alleged errant enforcers in the fight against these social scourge. If you think that I can be dissuaded from continuing this fight because of our demonstrations, your protests, which I find the way misdirected. Then you got it all wrong. Your concern is human rights. Mine is human lives. The lives of our youth are being wasted and families are destroyed. And all because of the chemical called shabu, cocaine, cannabis, and heroin. Human rights to me means giving Filipinos, especially those at the society's fringes, a decent and dignified future to the social and physical infrastructures necessary to better their lives, the lives and freedoms, and the hard-earned property of every Filipino whose condition we wish to improve shall be protected from criminals, terrorists, corrupt officials, and traffickers and contrabands. You worry about the present. I am concerned both the present and the future. I worry about the future because I know what crimes can do to the youth of this country if not stopped. Crimes can make human cesspools of succeeding generation. I will not allow it to happen. Not during my term. Time and again, I have stressed that corruption must stop. Corruption is like a leech that it bleeds the government of funds, program, infrastructure, and social development projects. It saps the morale of dedicated and honest government workers, and corruption destroys those who succumb to its temptation, and eventually it is the innocent who will suffer and bear its horrible consequences. The love of money is corrosive, and sadly, the desire to make the easy kind of being imaginative and manipulative corrupts absolutely. Stolen wealth does not make the thief respectable. Neither will the trappings of wealth mask or cap the stink that thievery exudes. One day, justice will catch up with those who steal government funds. And when the day comes, it will be the public who will have its retribution. While we run after those who steal the people's money, we are also enhancing the government's delivery of frontline services. I thank Congress for the swift passage of the ease of doing business, which is significant. Fight against corruption and improving service of delivery. We need to sustain our momentum, and I hereby direct all government units, makinig sana kayo, and government agencies to faithfully implement this law and simplify the process. Hinihingi ko yan sa lahat na sa gobyerno under my control and supervision. Wag ho kayong magkamali. I particularly call the attention of the agencies with the number of red tape-related reports from the public. Make your services truly customer-friendly. Our people deserve efficient, effective, and responsive government services. They deserve nothing less. Kayo lang ayaw eh. Gusto ng tao